All right, let's dive into something pretty interesting today. It's called the decoy effect.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And you know how we make choices every day, right?
Hmm.
Like from what to have for dinner to like
Yeah.
what kind of phone plan to get, or even something as simple as like
Mm,
which avocado at the store is like actually ripe.
right.
But what if I told you that some of those choices aren't really as free as we think they are?
Yeah, it's true. I
Right.
think we always assume more choice is better, right? But the decoy effect kind of shows us how that's
Okay.
not always the case. Like sometimes having more options
Okay.
actually makes us more vulnerable to manipulation.
That's starting making me rethink like all the decisions I make when I go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
So what is this decoy effect?
Well, basically, it's a psychological phenomenon where you add a less appealing option, and
Uh-huh.
that's called the decoy.
Hmm.
And that can kind of nudge you towards a specific choice
Mm-hmm.
that the person presenting the options wants you to make.
So it's
It plays on the...
Jedi mind tricks for marketing.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I'm intrigued,
Yeah.
but also a little freaked out.
Think of it this way. Like,
Okay.
say you're at a coffee shop.
Okay.
You see those three sizes, right? You got small, medium, large.
Yep.
You're cool with just getting a small scale. But then that medium size comes in.
Yeah.
Looking a bit overpriced for just a little more coffee.
I've been there, yeah.
So then all of a sudden the large starts to look a lot more appealing.
Right. Like you're like, oh, I could get so much more for just like a little extra.
Exactly. And that medium size, that's our decoy.
Got it.
And what that does is it changes your perception of value.
Mm-hmm.
So you're no longer just comparing a small to a large.
Yeah.
Now you're comparing a large to that kind of less attractive medium option.
Makes sense.
And then all of a sudden the large seems like,
Got to steal.
yeah, like a total steal, even though it wasn't on your radar before.
Total? Okay, that makes sense. But like, why does this actually work on us?
Well,
Like, are we just
the decoy effect
really...
taps into
It's easy to manipulate with coffee.
two key things that our brains love to do.
Okay.
One is compare and contrast,
Uh-huh.
and the other is find value.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to pick like a vacation spot
Yeah.
and you're like torn between two amazing islands.
Right.
But then someone throws in like a rundown motel in your hometown.
Okay.
Now those islands are looking really good.
Perfect analogy. So that's the comparison part.
Okay.
And our brains are always looking for a benchmark, something to measure against.
Right.
So that decoy gives us that.
Okay.
But it's intentionally designed so that the target option shines brighter.
Gotcha. Okay. And the value part, is that just our brain being like, oh, I outsmarted the system by getting a good deal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the decoy basically manipulates our sense of what a good deal even is.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes the target seem like we're getting more bang for our buck,
Okay.
even though that wasn't our initial thought.
So we think we're making a rational decision based on like, oh, this is a good value.
Exactly.
But really, we're being like subtly swayed by this decoy option.
Yeah, you got it.
That's sneaky.
And this isn't just happening with coffee or vacations.
Okay.
The decoy effect is everywhere. Like, think about streaming services
Oh, yeah.
like Netflix, Spotify.
Like all the different subscription plans.
Yeah, you got the basic plan.
Mhm.
Then you got the standard plan that's just a little bit better,
Yeah.
but costs a lot more.
Right.
And then you got the premium plan.
That suddenly doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe I should go for the premium.
Okay.
And often that standard plan, that's the decoy.
Gotcha.
It's there to make that premium plan look like the best value, even if you were happy
Yep.
with just the basic option.
This is kind of blowing my mind.
Yeah.
So we see it with subscription services.
Mm-hmm.
But where else does this decoy effect pop up?
Oh, it's all over the place, from travel packages
Okay.
to software pricing
Uh-huh.
to even, get this, dating apps.
Wait, dating apps too?
Yeah, they all use the strategy to kind of subtly nudge our choices.
Now I'm really curious.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
So like some dating apps,
Yeah.
they'll show you 3 potential matches at a time, right?
Okay.
And they'll arrange them in a way that makes one person seem extra appealing compared to the other 2.
Okay.
It's all about creating that perception of a catch.
Wow. So dating apps, streaming services, coffee, this is starting to feel like a conspiracy.
Right.
Is there anywhere we don't see the decoy effect?
Well, it's definitely prevalent in marketing.
Yeah.
But you also see it in like everyday decision making.
Okay.
Like think about choosing between restaurants, buying clothes,
Oh.
even something simple like picking a movie to watch.
Right.
Like it can influence us
Yeah.
in all sorts of subtle ways.
Okay. So now that we know like how it works
Right.
and like how common it is, the big question is
Yeah.
this a good thing or a bad thing?
It's kind of both, really. Like from a business standpoint,
Yeah.
it can be like a really powerful tool
Yeah.
to increase sales and highlight the value of certain products.
Right.
You know, it helps them present their offerings
Okay.
in a way that guides consumers towards, you know,
Yeah.
a specific choice.
So businesses love it, but what about us?
Yeah.
The consumers.
Yeah.
Are we just like pawns in this whole marketing game?
Not necessarily. Like sometimes the decoy effect
Okay.
can actually lead us to a choice we're really happy with.
Okay.
Like maybe we wouldn't have considered that larger coffee or the premium subscription without that little nudge.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes you do need like a little push to do like the thing you actually want.
Yeah.
But how do we know when we're being like tricked
That's a good question.
versus like genuinely getting a good deal?
Well, that's the key, right? Like being able to distinguish between a genuine preference and a manufactured one.
Okay.
And I think the first step is awareness.
Okay.
Now that you know about the decoy effect,
Right.
you'll start to spot it more often.
Yeah.
And question, you know, those too good to be true deals.
Okay, so being aware is like our first line of defense.
Exactly.
What else can we do to like avoid falling into this decoy trap?
I think the most important thing is to just be mindful of your own needs and preferences.
Okay.
Like, don't let the options that are presented to you dictate what you should want.
Okay.
So before you even start comparing, take a moment to consider, what are you actually looking for?
Okay, so step 1, be aware. Step 2, know thyself.
Right.
What else?
Focus on the features and the benefits that are important to you, not just the price tag.
Okay.
Because it's easy to get swayed by that perceived discount.
Yeah.
But make sure that that discount is actually giving you something you value.
Right.
Don't get blinded by the decoy's shine.
I feel like I'm already getting better at this just by talking about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so be aware, know what you want, focus on the features over price.
Yeah.
Any other like pro tips for navigating this like tricky world of decoys?
One last thing.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to walk away.
Okay.
If you're feeling pressured or unsure,
Yeah.
it's totally okay to step back and reevaluate.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe sleep on it.
Okay.
Do some additional research,
Right.
or simply choose to go with a different option altogether.
Okay.
Like, you are in control.
That's a really good point. Sometimes we get so caught up
Right.
in like the decision making
Totally.
that we forget that we have the power to just be like, nope, not for me.
Exactly. Remember, like, companies are using sophisticated strategies to influence our choices.
Right.
But by understanding these tactics, we can become more savvy consumers and make decisions that truly align with, you know, our own values and goals.
This has been eye-opening. I feel like I have like a whole new perspective on how choices are presented to us.
For sure.
And how like easily our perceptions can be swayed.
Totally. It's all about just being aware. And informed knowledge is power.
Right.
Especially when it comes to navigating, you know, the complex world of consumerism.
I feel like I've like leveled up my consumer awareness today, thanks to you.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
I'm definitely going to be more mindful of those decoys from now on.
Awesome. Remember, awareness is the first step.
Yeah.
Towards making more informed and intentional choices.
And knowing about the decoy effect is like having a secret weapon.
Oh, yeah.
You can like spot the manipulative tactics.
Yeah.
Choose what's best for you.
Exactly.
Not what someone else is trying to make you choose.
I love it.
Yeah.
Take back that power.
All right. So to wrap things up, let's give our listeners a quick recap of the key takeaways. First, remember that the decoy effect is real.
Yes.
And it is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Do not underestimate its power to influence your choices.
I agree.
Absolutely. Second, be mindful of your own needs and preferences.
Yeah.
Don't let those options presented to you dictate what you should want.
Know thyself.
Right. Know thyself. And third, focus on the features and benefits that are important to you.
Exactly.
Not just the price.
Right.
And finally, don't be afraid to walk away.
Right.
If you're feeling pressured or unsure, take your time.
Take your time.
Do your research and make the choice that feels right for you.
I love it.
So there you have it, folks. The decoy effect decoded.
Decoded.
And now that you're in the know, go for it.
Go for it.
And make those choices with confidence.
I love it.
And remember, sometimes the best option is the one that you create for yourself.
That's right. It's kind of like they're showing you like, okay, here's two kind of average options.
Right.
And then here's like
Here's the star.
The shining star, yeah.
Okay, so dating apps, streaming services, coffee. This is starting to feel like a conspiracy.
It is.
Like, is there anywhere we don't see the decoy effect?
Well, it's definitely, like I said, prevalent in marketing.
Yeah.
But you'll see it in everyday decision-making, too.
Okay.
Like choosing between restaurants, like buying clothes. Even something as simple as like picking a movie to watch.
Okay.
You know,
it's everywhere.
It can influence us in all sorts of really subtle ways.
Okay, so now that we know how it works,
right,
and like how common it is, the big question is this a good thing or a bad thing?
You know, I think it's a bit of both. Right. Like from a business standpoint, you know, it can be a really powerful tool to increase sales, to highlight the value of certain products. It helps them present their offerings in a way that like guides consumers towards a specific choice.
So businesses love it.
Yeah.
What about us?
Right.
The consumers.
Yeah.
Are we just like pawns in their marketing games?
Not necessarily. Like sometimes the decoy effect can actually lead us to a choice we're really happy with. You know, like maybe we wouldn't have considered that larger coffee size or the premium subscription without that little nudge.
That's true. I guess sometimes you need a little nudge to go for like what you really want.
Yeah, to like realize what you want.
But how do we know when we're being like tricked?
Yeah, that's a
versus genuinely getting a good deal.
Good question. I think that's the key, right? Like being able to distinguish between a genuine preference and like a manufactured one.
Okay, yeah.
And I think the first step is awareness.
Okay.
Now that you know about the decoy effect, you're going to start to see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And question those too good to be true deals.
Okay, so like step one, awareness. Is like our first line of defense. What else can we do to avoid like falling into this decoy trap?
I think the most important thing is to be mindful of your own needs and preferences.
Okay.
Like don't let the options that are presented to you dictate what you should want.
Okay.
Take a moment before you even start comparing to consider what are you actually looking for.
Okay, so step one, be aware. Step two, know thyself.
Yeah. Focus on the features. And the benefits that are important to you, not just the price. Because it's so easy to get swayed by that perceived discount, you know? But make sure that that discount is actually giving you something that you value. Don't get blinded by the decoy's shine.
That's good advice. I feel like I'm already getting better at this just by talking about it.
Me too.
So be aware, know what you want, focus on features over price.
Yeah.
Any other pro tips for navigating this like tricky world of decoys?
One last thing is don't be afraid to walk away.
Okay.
You know, if you're feeling pressured or unsure, it's totally okay to step back and reevaluate.
Okay.
Maybe sleep on it. Do some additional research.
Right.
Or simply choose to go with a different option altogether. Like you are in control.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get so caught up in the like decision making.
Totally.
That we forget we can just say no.
Exactly. Remember, these companies are using sophisticated strategies to influence our choices.
Right.
But by understanding these tactics, we can become more savvy consumers and make decisions that truly align with our own values and goals.
Yeah, this has been eye-opening.
I know, it's really interesting.
I feel like I have a whole new perspective on like how choices are presented to us and how easy our perceptions can be like manipulated and swayed.
Totally. It's all about just being aware and informed. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like navigating this complex world of consumerism.
Oh, I feel like I've leveled up my consumer awareness today.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks to you, I'm going to be more mindful of those decoys from now on.
Awesome. Remember, awareness is the first step towards making more informed and intentional choices.
And knowing about the decoy effect is like having a secret weapon.
Totally.
Now you can like spot the manipulative tactics.
Yeah.
Choose what's best for you.
Exactly.
Not what someone else wants you to choose.
Take back your power.
Okay. So to wrap things up, let's give our listeners a quick recap of the key takeaways.
Okay.
First, remember the decoy effect is real, and it is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Do not underestimate its power.
Right.
To influence your choices.
For sure.
Absolutely. Second.
Yes.
Be mindful of your own needs and preferences. Don't let those options
Know thyself.
presented to you dictate what you should want.
Exactly.
Know thyself. Third.
Yes.
Focus on the features and benefits
that
are important to you.
That's right.
Not just the price.
Yeah.
And finally, don't be afraid to walk away.
Yes.
If you're feeling pressured or unsure.
Absolutely.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Make the choice that feels right for you.
I love it.
So there you have it, folks. The Decoy effect decoded. Now that you're in the know, go forth and make those choices with confidence.
I love that.
And remember, sometimes the best option is the one you create for yourself.
That's right.
Yeah, it really makes you think, like, how much of our decision-making is actually our own?
Right.
And how much is influenced by all these, like, tactics and stuff?
Yeah, it's a great question.
It really gets to, like, the heart of, like, consumer psychology, right? Like, we think we're these rational beings making logical choices.
Yeah.
But the reality is, a lot of it is like emotion or biases, or even these like clever marketing techniques.
Yeah, I think our emotions play a bigger part than we realize.
For sure. And then it's almost like a game, right?
Yeah.
Where like businesses are trying to figure out how to present their products in like the most appealing way.
Right.
And we as consumers are trying to like
decipher what
we actually want.
Yeah, what we really want.
Out of all the noise.
Amidst all the noise, exactly. It's a complex interplay
between
like psychology and marketing.
Totally. And the more we understand these dynamics, the better we'll be at. I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for those decoys from now on.
Perfect.
It's like having a secret weapon.
It is.
Now you can spot those manipulative tactics.
Yeah.
And make the choice that's best for you, not the choice that someone else wants you to make.
I love it.
Yeah. So to wrap things up, let's give our listeners one last recap of the key takeaways.
Okay, let's do it.
So first, remember, the decoy effect is real.
Yes.
And it's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
Don't underestimate its power.
Right.
Absolutely.
Powerful stuff.
Second, be mindful of your own needs and preferences.
Yeah. Know thyself.
Don't let the options presented to you dictate what you want.
I love that.
Know thyself.
Yeah.
Third,
yes.
Focus on those features and benefits that are important to you.
Absolutely.
Not just the price.
Right.
And finally,
yeah,
don't be afraid to walk away.
Yes.
If you're feeling pressured or unsure.
That's right.
Take your time, do your research.
Yeah.
Make the choice that feels right for you.
I love it.
So there you have it, folks.
Yes.
The decoy effect decoded.
Decoded.
Now that you're in the know.
Yeah.
Go forth and make those choices with confidence.
Yes, confidence.
And remember, sometimes the best option is the one that you create for yourself.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the decoy effect.
It was fun.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.